I'm going to talk about the concept of capacity building to tackle climate change and also the activities and roles that the International Center for Climate Change and Development at the Independent University of Bangladesh is doing. So firstly, with regard to the issue of capacity building to tackle climate change, we have a very important decision in the Paris Agreement on climate change that was agreed in 2015 at COP21 in Article 11 of the Paris Agreement, which is on capacity building. And it brings forward the notion of a paradigm shift in the need to build national level capacity building systems in every country in the world, particularly in the poorer countries, but in every country, even in the rich countries, and not just rely on what had hitherto been the methodology of hiring international consultants who would fly into a country, do a workshop, and fly out. It did build some capacity, but what it failed to do was to address not just the issue of capacity building, but also the issue of capacity retention, which is a longer term issue than capacity building itself, and even more important than capacity retention, the issue of capacity replacement, which is a longer term issue. So the Paris Agreement, which has a timeline to go to 2030, cannot be addressed by short-term fly-in, fly-out, consultant-driven capacity building alone. It needs to be reliant on national capacity building systems. And since we are a research institute housed in a university, we are focusing on universities as being a very suitable set of institutions to build capacity at the national level. That's what we are doing in Bangladesh. We have a master's program in climate change and development at our university. We run a lot of short courses for professionals in different areas on climate finance, on agriculture, on adaptation technology, on renewable energy, on urban climate change, and many others. We have well over 500 alumni from these short courses and master's degree from about 30 or 40 countries, mostly in the least developed countries in Asia and Africa. And we also do a lot of capacity building for other institutions within government of Bangladesh, with the Planning Commission, with the Finance Ministry, with the Agriculture Ministry, local government, and others, with private sector companies like BRAC Bank, NGOs like BRAC, and many others. And so what we are now seeing as our core objective is building the capacity of Bangladesh, all sectors of society in the country, to be able to tackle climate change both on adaptation as well as on mitigation. And we are going beyond Bangladesh as well. We have initiated over the last 2 years a least developed countries universities consortium on climate change, LUCCC, or LUC for short, which we have now 10 partner institutions and universities from 10 least developed countries in Asia and Africa. We have already developed a work program of exchanging knowledge, sharing teachers and faculty between the universities, and even going down to the youth and the students as well. And we are reaching out to other universities in other least developed countries. There are 48 least developed countries altogether. We hope eventually to broaden the network to all of them. This is a South-South, least developed countries specific, adaptation specific initiative that we have started ourselves. We don't have any donors, although we are very happy to discuss our program with any funders who wish to fund what we want to do and not want us to do what they want to fund. And we are also willing to collaborate with others from other developing countries or other developed countries, researchers or universities who wish to collaborate with us in the work that we are doing. One of the things that we have to offer is quite a lot of genuine knowledge and expertise on community-based adaptation with the most vulnerable communities in our respective countries. And one of the programs we have in most of our partner institutions is a visiting researcher program where we invite and support international researchers doing masters or PhDs or just doing further research to come and spend some time in our countries and learn from us how to adapt to the impacts of climate change. So we see learning and capacity building as a two-way street. We learn from others and others can learn from us, and that's our motto.